Hello there, fellow engineers. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Ostranauts, Fire in the Hold. Episode 17, Building the Entire Fusion Reactor. The last ship I want to go to is the one with the cryo tank, so that I can actually get our reactor up and running. So we'll head back to the one I had made notes of, which is northeast of us, I think. I'm calling it northeast. I mean, up that way or whatever. So notes. It was the EGR3, which is like over here somewhere. So I'm going to fly in. I don't actually have a target in mind. I'm just going to fly that direction until we spot it. Unless my optical sense... Oh, yeah, there it is. Whoa! Oh my god! Let it be known that I pointed less than a degree off from where I thought it was. Yes. Blind. Did that blind from memory. I was 1/10 of a degree off from its actual location. So, yeah, I mean... That's some accuracy. It's funny, I actually just bumped the ship and, like, got more off course from a light tap bumping. Thirsty? Yeah, I'll fix that. I hope that's water in this. I mean, it's supposed to be water, right? I'm also gonna take a second to... No, helmet. To long for a better love life, because I'm really tired of the, like... trying to paint phalluses on objects. Okay, there we go. Helmet down. Down. Let's put the book away. And then I have another helmet that I'll put there. Yeah, we are completely full. Oh, what the hell are you doing? Okay, fine, whatever. Go buy a lottery ticket? I can't even see it now? What? Apparently, whatever. As long as I don't hit it. This is so full of loot, I'm gonna need more space. Yep. Alright, screwdriver's almost out of power, so let's switch that battery around. And continue auto-tasking. Now, I know my character's, like, hungry, but, you know, I'll eat eventually. Once we get back to K-Leg, because I'm going to need to pay for coolant and heavy water once it's installed. There we go. There's where we're headed. The EGR3. And that is exactly why, when you don't have the space for stuff, writing in your captain's notes, like, where you can find it later on down the line, is super, super smart. Because I could have been looking for the next hour for a cryo tank. Or an MHD. What the hell are we hitting? Oh, probably the cops. Yep. Are you... What are you... Well, hold on. Are you trying to dock with me? Because, for the record, in the boneyard, you can get docked by pirates. And have them try to board and kill you. So, when a ship... does like a crazy braking maneuver right in front of my ship, it, to me, is like a big old warning sign of check if you're safe from being docked with. In this case, they aren't docking. I'm fine. But you absolutely do not want to be on the outside of your ship during a docking, because then what? Like, I have to break into my own ship through a wall? Or break into the pirate ship? I mean, I guess that's a possibility. My nav received a message. Okay. What? Yeah, I know I'm legal. Thanks. I have too much loot. My sensors are blocked. No, but that'd be funny. Yeah, this was just the popo checking if I was registered, salvaged legal ship. What's funny is I only have 8 hours left on my license, and it was a license I found on a derelict ship. So I'm legal in that I illegally looted a legal license. But, yeah, as far as the cops are concerned, that's fine. Alright, how far away is this? 50 kilometers? Alright, let's get ready to land. So all I'm taking in this next one is probably the cryo tank. Like, I don't think there's anything else that I'm gonna want from it. Why does my tracking mode keep freaking out? What is even going on? And we're doing pretty good for thrust fuel. I've only used about a quarter, and only used about a quarter of my power. So it's not like I'm, you know, I'm going to need a resupply just yet. But I am going to head back to K-Leg after this. Well, actually, maybe not K-Leg. What I will do is head to KS0 to be able to expand my ship. Because I want to be able to install all of the reactor components and... that means expanding my hull some more. Wow, how was my bearing so wrong? I must have had a slight spin and didn't cut the rotation. So this is a ship I've been to before, so I don't need to go through the bins or anything like that. I'm just grabbing the cryo tank that I marked for later. Ugh, why do I keep drifting to the left? I'm like holding R, which is supposed to cut your drift, and I keep going left. Stop! Stop drifting off course. Alright, so I'm just here for this cryo tank. And then I'm gonna, oh, that's not what I meant to click on. Then I'm heading back to the freighter that has the orange way. So I can expand the ship. So I'll update the priority in just a moment. Expand the reactor room to be able to install all of the components. And once I have that expanded, then I can do like cables and walls, and then go back to K-Leg and refill all the tanks. But yeah, we're on track to potentially have working fusion this stream, which is awesome. Now, that's not to say that I'll be able to like go to Ceres immediately, because there's a lot of other prep I need to do. I need to make the crew cabin, the bridge, the bathroom, pressurization, a whole bunch of other installation stuff, which will also be required. All right, let's get cross velocity cut, bearing correct. Good enough. Now, why does cross velocity... Hold on. I fixed the cross velocity and then it reset? It's like I'm wobbling or something. Oh, you know, my target disappeared on me because it's out of sensor range. That's why it's like unsure. That's fine. As we get closer, I'll like realign if I need to. A storage room might be in order soon? No, it isn't. Alright, okay, it's back on the map. There it is. So my cross velocity and bearing are a little wrong, but like not wrong enough that I need to run to the nav. Yeah, it's because the sensor, my optical sensor, no, it's pointing forward. This is the front of my ship. So it should have relatively good line of sight. Ooh, I leveled up in my combat engineering. So I don't know why it's fussing, but whatever. It's good. It's good enough. Construction engineering going up too. Is this game hard to pick up? There's a bit of a learning curve. I won't lie. It's worth it, in my opinion, but it's frustrating for new players because it's very easy to lose. The front is your airlock. You dock with the airlock, so the airlock is technically the front of your ship. So technically speaking, my nav station is backwards. It doesn't matter, really. As far as G-forces are concerned, you do get some G-force resistance while sitting in the nav, but that's also true of, like, sitting, so it doesn't really matter which direction it's facing. Realistically, you'd want your back to the chair, because if not, it's going to throw you out of your seat, but, like, the game isn't that level of complexity where that matters. Maybe I'll be able to find some food in the bins. Yeah, I'll probably be able to find some junk food. More than likely. Alright, I'm a little off course. Let's re-course correct. There we go. How's my tools? Fine. Battery, fine. You've been treating your airlock as the back? Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is, you dock with your airlock, so it's kind of the front. So you should probably treat it as the front, especially when you're starting to do torch drives, because torch drives will assume airlock is forward. So if you're doing manual torch drive maneuvers, your airlock is the front of your ship. Or you're going to torch drive the wrong way and, like, go, if you do manual burns, go way off course. Alright. So Chaos 0C, the one I'm docking, is the one that has all the orange waste stuff and the mobile light walls. So I'm just docking here for parts. Am I planning for a secondary airlock? Nope. I've even found one and sold it. So yeah, I've pretty obviously I've stripped this place for parts pretty hard already. So the plan here is maybe helium, 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 heavy water, cryo. So what I want to be able to do, essentially, is be able to install the helium just south of the reactor, which means I'm going to need this much more added to the back. It's a lot. It is a lot. And I knew it was going to balloon out, which is why I didn't add the walls, as I said. Okay, let's grab Dolly. I already have some flooring, so I'm going to pick up the flooring that I do have and start adding it. I think that's all the flooring I have. Cool. many do I have? 19. Come on. Oh, oops. All right. And with a dolly, this shouldn't be too hard to do in batch. So just to make sure that I'm getting it... oh man, there's nowhere to even put this thing. Just to make sure that I'm getting this in correctly. Pick up. Install. Yep. That's as wide as it needs to go. So I need, oh my god, it's so dark. I need 3 more deep. And then I'm going to put other pods on the other sides as well. And I want them walkable, which is a big deal. All right. Before I do that, let's seek out some food. Because I can freshen up with my flask water, but I need a bite to eat. Yo, you got any food on this thing? I think if I auto-task, I would like find it automatically, but I'm a little worried about auto-tasking because my character might just go off and do something weird. Trying to stop that. If I was a refrigerator, honestly, he'll find it. Yep. You found trenchers. Good job. Freshen up with the water. And we're good to go. Okay. Orders. Uninstall floor. There we go. And auto task. And I'll try to use the pressure mass. I forget which overlay this is. Mass. I'll try to use either the pressure or the mass overlay so that you can actually see stuff. But you don't get to see the orders that you've queued up if you're using the visor, which is why I have to, like, periodically switch to off visor mode. There's also a lot of nitrogen tanks and thrusters on this boat. So once I get walls in the reactor room, I can also grab the nitrogen tanks for the Hydra intakes, and then I can grab the thrusters to add thrust to the ship. Because obviously I'm adding a lot of mass to the ship, and I should increase my thrusters from like 2 to, let's say, 6 or more, if I want to match thrust to weight ratio properly. Clickety click click click. So what I'm doing here is I have my inventory open and I'm holding shift to pick up. That's a lot. Let's bring it back down here. Get installed. Yeah, I wish you could see orders in the visor overlay. Or if it was like a rare thing that you could add to your visor. Like a rare cartridge. That would be really nice. All right, put the dolly down. And there goes a helium tank. Now I am missing 1 helium tank from my setup. 2, I don't think is enough to get a good burn in. So I'm planning on doing heavy water and cryo here and then helium all down here. But what I can do, at least for now, is to use the cryo tank as a means to measure how much space I'm going to want to add. I think it's safe to say, let's see. Let's do that for now. Can repair the floor with the big... Oh, do underneath? Yes, I'll be able to repair that. Because these 6 tiles are fine. It's these bottom 3, and these bottom 3 are accessible. Don't worry. In worst case scenario, like, I would... If I needed to repair it and hadn't, I could very easily... Okay, I think... sorry, I could very easily just uninstall it whenever I wanted. So, the heavy water tank will go here, and I could ignore the north bounds because the helium tank that's installed there won't be in the long run. This thing, I'll just install it now, so it's obviously not a barrier to installation. Joe True, thank you for the raid as well. Playing some VS? What were you doing in Vintage Story? So if I'm putting the heavy water tank here, I'm just missing 3 floor pieces. And then likewise, symmetrically on the other side, that will also be true. So that's not hard to add. That's easy to add. All 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. No, that's not what I want you to do, dude. Install the floors. You're doing some primitive survival as well? Ah, sweet. I know all about that. Well, I hope it's been going well. All right, let's install this tank. Done. And that is where it's going to be permanently installed. Yes, that does not necessarily give me... Well, it's walkable around it. All right, likewise, I'm going to move the cooler away and move these reactor core for sales away so I can install the other ones. Let's see, I'll put this one here. Oh, that's not valid. Put that there. Okay, and the cryo tank is going to go up here. Cool. And then, now that we have those tanks installed, I can get an idea of what these helium tanks will require. So this one is going to go here. And then I'll work out the other side too for the hypothetical third tank that I haven't yet got. So, put this down. Let's take a look at that again. So I'm going to want it here. So that's 3 out. Got it. Okay. So pick up the dolly. Install hull. Oops, too far. Orders, cancel. And then once that's done, I'll do the other side. And the reason I put these 2 here is that's going to be the wall because I want an enclosed reactor room. I don't want it open to the world. And then we're just going to do the same thing on the other side symmetrically, and we'll have all the floor space done, and then it's just a matter of like putting the walls in and the cabling, and we'll have a reactor room. I'm excited. So just make sure that, that I did the math right. I should be able to install this HE tank. Yep. Happily, it goes right there. Obviously, I don't want to install it because I need it for measurement on the other side. All right, let's pick up the dolly and grab some more orange because I'm out of orange. Wow, no cattails or surface copper for the continent you're on. That is a brutal start for primitive survival. You have my condolences. That's rough. And this, I think, should be enough orange way tiles for everything I have left to add. It doesn't hurt to have a few extra in case I do have a hull breach in transit to Ceres. That way I can just like throw a new floor in. All right, install. So first things first, I'll do this in stages. Actually, I won't even do it in stages. I think it's like this. There. That looks right to me. Hope I did it right. We're about to find out. Will I be making the bedroom and mess hall before traveling? Yes. 100% yes. Because the travel time to get to Ceres is like a week. So if I don't have a bathroom installed on my ship, that means that I'm holding my poops and pees for a week? Like, that's not reasonable. Yeah, you're going to need all of the amenities installed first. Do you want kidney stones and a ruptured bladder and to die? Who was it? There was a famous... Was it Lord Celsius? There was a famous scientist who died because he was invited to a royal dinner and, like, didn't want to go to the bathroom because that would be a faux pas, like a social faux pas. So he held it and then died of a ruptured bladder? God, who was it? Tycho Brahe. Yeah, astronomer. I just Googled it. Brahe. It was Brahe. Yep, that's pretty brutal. You know, being a father of astronomy and dying to holding your pee-pee. Oof. Alright, let's put in the damage overlay. Visor damage. So most of the floors are getting nice and polished. I'm not going to worry about all the damage right now because it's not an immediate concern. So, let's pick up this tank. We knew that we could install it on the other side. And what I'm... Yep, okay, we can install it here. Cool. So we actually have the perfect spot for the other tank once we find the third and final tank. So, realistically, we have everything we reasonably need to fire up the reactor now, except for the cables in place, and then maybe like the fuel, the reactor fuel. But we're like 99% done with that setup. So what I'm doing is I'm playing the Jenga game now in order to... Actually, I don't really need to do that. So let's get walls down here and cables. So grab the dolly again. I'm going to put the orange way tiles on the floor here for now. God, do they ever blend in? That's a bad idea. And then the 4 side compartments here are mobile light walls. The middle compartments are Ryoka. So I don't want the middle walls. I want the outer walls. So order, uninstall, walls. I'll do components later, or cables later, and uninstalling all those walls. Character is getting tired, but like I'll burn the midnight oil to try to get more work done, because I don't have a place to sleep on my ship, so it would require me going back to K-Leg or like sleeping in a suit. Neither of those sound fun, so I'm just gonna stay awake a little longer. Can you install bins by the tanks? I could hypothetically... Well, so subfloor bins, no. Because the tanks require a 7x7 structure. Basically, the requirement for the tanks to require this much space is for plumbing reasons. Because these tanks would... there isn't a plumbing layer for Ostranauts. But the concept is these tanks require subsurface plumbing, which is why you can't have a lack of structure around them as a result. Did you hear another pop of meteorite? I don't think so. I mean, you could be right, but I don't see any... Well, here. Damage. Nope, I don't see any damage, so probably not. You're hearing things. Where? Okay. What are you doing? Auto task. So we're just pulling up the mobile light walls, and I'm going to line the reactor room with walls, and then once all the walls are in, I will wire up the reactor and the walls. And very likely I'm going to be installing thrusters around the edges and sensors, because I'm going to want rear sensors as well. I'm going to want rear optics, rear EM, rear IR. I don't even think I have EM yet, but eventually. I'm not doing atmospherics for the reactor room, no. There is no good reason to do it, and a lot of good reasons not to do it. If you don't have atmo, you don't need cooling, and you also don't have fires. Putting atmospherics for the reactor room just increases the chance for your reactor to overheat, because your reactor won't overheat in a vacuum, but will overheat if the room gets too hot, which then requires cooling, which then requires extra weight. And then also, in a vacuum, you can't have fire. So, yeah, there's really zero compelling reason to have atmosphere for reactors. Now, that might change in the future. So, like, future viewers that are watching, not now, but, like, later, the requirements for a reactor can change. And it wouldn't surprise me if eventually they require atmospherics for cooling reasons, but they don't yet. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm on visor overlay, so you can't actually see those orders. Oh, God, I didn't actually put the orders down. Oh, God damn it. Orders. Install. Let's try this again. Yeah, I won't easily be able to get thrusters in here because they will be terrain walk blockers. I'll be able to put one thruster here and here, one thruster here and here. So 4 thrusters for the reactor room is fine. And that preserves walkability, so I'm not going to bump it out another tile. And I'm obviously doing the wall installation as batches of 16, because that's all the dolly can handle. And I'm sure these walls are in, like, terrible condition, but I don't really care. We'll fix them later. Diagonal corners are not absolutely necessary now. But the terrible aesthetics of lacking them makes them necessary as far as I'm concerned. Because it won't look diagonal. But it will be, quote-unquote, airtight. It doesn't... I'm not even going for airtightness for this reactor room, mind you. So airtightness isn't really even a concern of mine. It's to keep borders out. Because if it didn't have walls here and it had a door here, then pirates could just fly in from the sides and come up my reactor rear. And I don't want that. Especially not when I'm going to a combat zone. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm leaving this one open so I have easy access in and out of the reactor room. And that will be... I'll put a uninstalled wall there as like a to be done when I'm done with everything else. Otherwise, I have to... well, I have a door there. So I guess it would be fine, but I'm going to leave it open anyway. Just bumping a micrometeorite damage makes walls worth it. Yes, that too. Because micrometeorite strikes on my walls, yeah, no big deal. Micrometeorite strike on my helium tank, big deal. Because that could strand you in the middle of nowhere and get you super, 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 super dead. So, I agree with that notion entirely. How many more do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. For now, I will obviously need them here too, but this is like bare minimum for this installation. Actually, I'll just put the wall in now, because I do have that door there. It's fine. So I need one more that I didn't grab, but whatever. Again, I'm just trying to get an enclosed reactor room. I think I am going to make an odd decision with the design, actually, because I don't know about the efficiency of vents. So I'm going to add a little extra here. You'll see in a second. So let's go grab our floors that I had set aside. I'm going to cancel this. This is actually going to be a access hatch instead. And I'm going to have an access hatch to a hole in the floor. So we vent out everything with perfect efficiency out of our ship. Air and whatever. The reason is, if I have a pressurized section in the center of the ship, even if I have double airlocks, it's going to leak a little bit, obviously. Because I'm not going to have a backwards-facing pump. Because a backwards-facing pump to suck all the air out will potentially overpressurize your internal compartment, which is way, way, way worse than leaking out some gas. So I'm going to have an access hatch here, and then walls here, and then just a hole, so that any air that gets into the... essentially, zero air will ever accumulate in my reactor chamber because I have an open floor. With an access hatch, if I do want to pressurize. So it gives me the option, but not the requirement. So I'm going to go with that design ethos. I just don't have... I never, ever find hatches, so it's something we'll have to buy. I've, like, maybe seen an access hatch once ever on, like, a pleasure yacht. A Hummel-designed pleasure yacht, but basically you never find them. Why not just an outward-facing pump? They're slow. And they can get overwhelmed, and they also require power. This design does not require power, meaning... And it is perfect. So why go with a power-hungry, weight-hungry, and can-fail installation when you could do better? And I'm probably doing this with... I'll do this for the cargo bay as well. This design idea. Thank you for tuning in to Ostranauts Fire in the Hold, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. I'm not, however, looking for feedback. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Stay safe out there, flying around K-Leg.